When I do reviews like these, I'm always torn over how to handle my prep for the post. On one hand, I can do a bunch of research and learn as much as I possibly can about a particular offering, maybe read another review or two about the product at hand, particularly ones written by folks who are familiar with the dish, find out the history of the item, and get a nice brief but broad education before I sample the food and share my thoughts. On the other hand, I can just dive in with no expectations and no preconceived ideas about what something is or is not supposed to be. I think I sound a little smarter when I go the former route, but I might be a tad more honest if I go the latter route. All that to say, I know nothing about Italian wedding soup and have never had it to the best of my knowledge, and I've decided to go the no prep route on this fine occasion. The first thing that jumps out at me, this Italian wedding soup hails from Canada rather than Italy. That's fine. I'm sure there are plenty of Italian Canadians that have carried on their proud soup tradition in the Great White North, just the same as Grandma used to make in the old country. The soup. It's a typical chicken broth with teeny tiny round pasta balls, carrot bits, beef meatballs, and little green flaky things I assume are parsley. The heartiest and most flavorsome of the elements are, of course, the meatballs. They're nice and soft, and their flavor is pleasant, but they're still not the most pungent meatballs I've ever had. They have egg whites, sheep's milk, and Romano cheese in them, but they don't taste quite as robust as their ingredients might make them sound. The carrots and acini di pepe are even less potent, but they do add a nice selection of textures to the overall mouthfeel. The parsley adds some additional visual appeal and does, whatever parsley is supposed to do. So, this isn't the greatest soup I've had from Trader Joe's, but it's not the worst either. It's vaguely like many chicken noodle soups I've tried in terms of overall taste and comfort food value, but with small beef meatballs instead of chicken. In the end, I would turn to an Italian that's been to a lot of weddings and ask, did those Canucks do your soup justice? Because I honestly don't know myself. It's decent soup, but I would not seek it out again.
Italian wedding soup. I've had Progresso before, but I've never tried the Trader Joe's brand. So there's meatballs, some type of pasta, onions, carrots, and parsley, and it's in a chicken broth. So first time trying it. Well, my first thoughts are I like the meatballs. I think they're made out of beef. The pasta's nice and soft. I will say that the first thing I will point out is it's a little bland. I hate saying that because I don't want to be super critical of the product, because overall the meatball tastes pretty good. I like the meat texture, even though we microwaved it. It's not chewy, which is a really good thing. And they do give you a good size amount of meatballs in here, which is kind of nice. And the pasta's very delicate, I'll put it that way. But the broth, it just feels like it needs more onion or garlic or Italian seasoning, something that's gonna give it a little more flavor to open up the vegetables, the flavor of the vegetables inside the broth. But I like the meatballs a lot, actually. I like the texture of them. And they taste really good. They don't taste processed, I guess is the word. But of course, Trader Joe's typically doesn't go over the top with any additives or artificial ingredients or flavor. So for that reason, I like it overall. I wish it just had more intensity and flavor. But I'm gonna keep eating it because it's good.
$4.99 for the 22-ounce glass jar. Refrigerate after opening. 6.5 stars out of 10 from me for Trader Joe's Italian-style wedding soup. Sonia's had Italian wedding soup from Progresso at least once. She liked it a bit more than this selection flavor-wise, but notes that it has significantly more sodium than this soup from TJ's. Sonia will go with 7 out of 10 stars. Bottom line, 6.75 out of 10. Meh. Let us know what you think of this soup. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video with your friends, check out our social media, check out our blog at what'sgood@traderjoes.com. We'll see you on the next review. Thanks for watching, everybody.